Man, I swear, everything that Tom Holland does outside of the MCU just keeps getting darker and darker and darker. The Crowded Room, Apple TV. It's time to talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Klepcx FM, brought to you by WeAreCritiX.com, a place where we talk about the movies, television, pop culture, and if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe key and that notification bell so y'all can be up to speed about everything that I talk about here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there is this new series that is out on Apple TV titled The Crowded Room. Now, when I first initially saw the trailer for this, I saw that it was starring Tom Holland, and of course, we love Tom Holland. I love Tom Holland. So anything that he does, I'm always like, I got my ear to it. I got to check it out. But I haven't had a chance to get to it until recently, just a couple of days ago. And so it's been out since June 8th, I believe the first episode aired, or 9th, one of those 2 days. Whichever day was a Friday is when it landed. And so there's about 6 episodes out. I believe there's one more episode left. And I binged 1 through 6 in one sitting. The story is based on a novel, a nonfiction novel, by a gentleman named Daniel Keyes, and it's been adapted for television, a television series, and stretched out. Tom Holland plays a character by the name of Danny Sullivan. Now, in the book, the kid's name is Billy, so I'm going to assume that when they adapted to the series, they maybe gave a nod to the original author, since his name is Daniel. Maybe they wanted to call the main character Danny. So Tom Holland plays a kid named Danny. The series, if you guys are into slow, and I mean slow, this series delivers that, but in a good way, in a constructive way. It's very slow in a way where you just got to kind of latch onto the characters, latch onto the setting, latch onto the story, to kind of just grasp the time, the era, the period. It takes place in the 70s. I believe it's 77 it takes place, primarily most of it. The book was written in the 80s, but the story itself in the show takes place in the 70s. There's an incident that occurs in the beginning of this thing, a shooting or shootout, something that happens, which causes calamity in Tom Holland's life. He is brought to justice, and then an investigation gets opened about what really happened, because Tom's story isn't matching up with what was said, what was witnessed, what was who heard what, and all kinds of things, even statements that the police have gotten. I'm trying not to give away so much, because the twist, and there is a twist, is pretty cool. My only problem is the twist happens a little too soon, and I feel like they meant for that to be, so that you can stop hanging on to this, what's going to happen, and just kind of enjoy the story. Now, this thing is getting mixed reviews around the board, because critics, not this critic, but critics out there, are it's at like a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience, it's like an 89%. So that just means that the audience, the general audience, including myself, are kind of digging this thing for what it's bringing, because it's not your typical crime thriller, where you're going to just drag out the inevitable, who done it, what happened. You get it almost immediately, and I don't mean like episode 1, but it is within the first 3-4 episodes. If you're good, you'll pick up on it like almost immediately what's going on. And then it just gives you the story. So I'm on 6, and I believe there's one more episode left, which airs this Friday, the 7th, July 7th, the finale. And I'm already like, wow, I just want to know what happens in the story, even though I already know what's going on and what really is happening. You kind of want to see how the characters play it out after the fact. So that's the best thing about this series. It's the best thing about the series is kind of, you get invested in these characters because of its lengthy and slow burn, to the point where you're like, I got to see how everybody deals with what's going on. And you kind of, the selfishness within you wanting that not instant, but that gratification of figuring it out. It gets killed immediately, like almost immediately going into the show. So I appreciate the writing in this. In that sense, I think they did a really great job. Just kind of just telling a decent story with a great actor like Tom Holland. And there are a lot of other key players in this. I just don't really know a lot of them. They're not like familiar faces to me. Maybe some of you may know, but none of the people in the series are familiar. But everybody, and I mean everybody, is brilliant in this. They all play their part. And this movie here really shows Tom Holland's range. I'll tell you that much. If you guys haven't seen Cherry, it seems like Apple TV has it out for Tom, and they want to kind of wash him clean of that Spidey Marvel MCU image, and they're just giving him the darkest things that they can give him, or he's just accepting the darkest things that they can give him, because this one is up there. I think Cherry was pretty dark, and then this one is on right there with it. So yeah, this is The Crowded Room, you guys. Check it out. I think that like I said, if you got the time, because I said it's slow burn, it's slow. There'll be times where you're just like, okay, what's happening? But you got to be into dialogue. You got to be into character play. You got to be into seeing people flex that acting muscle. If you're into that, this is the show for you. I promise. The Crowded Room on Apple TV. It is streaming now. First 6 episodes are already up, and then there's one more to go. So they say so. Tune in for that this Friday. Let me know if you're into the show. Have you watched it? Have you checked it out? Have you never even heard of it? Let me know if you're anxious to know about it. Like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, for more television news, pop culture, and all that good stuff, check out wearecritics.com. And I'll talk to you all later.